Hmm. So, hello. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Hope the audio is okay. Just checking the main. Let me unmute. Is the audio? Yeah. Okay. Uh, yeah. Um, so yes, you're welcome to join the Zoom now before the introduction starts. You can join. The link is in the chat box. Feel free to join on Zoom. Um, just give it a few moments. Um, so I couldn't make it this Tuesday, but I normally now do Tuesday. I do a non-recorded, non-streamed meeting on Zoom, and that's Tuesday at the same time, 5 o'clock. And I do this YouTube stream on Thursday at 5 o'clock. But even here, you're able to use Zoom as well and join through Zoom to ask questions or anything. Or you ask questions in the chat box. Okay, so I've entitled titled the this talk "The Smog of You," and I think smog's a word. Smog, I don't know. The smog of you. It could be fog, but I think smog's a similar thing. I think it is. I think smog is more smoke. I think more smoky than fog. I don't know actually. It sounds a bit more like a fire has happened and there's more smog. But it means a similar thing, so. So in these types of meetings, in these types of meetings, what's being spoken about is something so beautiful, and it does sadden me when I hear. I recently heard some negative things about this subject, and it does sadden me to hear it misquoted or to hear like I'm all for critiquing things and seeing the good and the bad in things. And I also agree with some of the things that have been pointed out, but to to miss the beauty of this, it feels unfortunate. Yeah. But anyway, in these types of meetings, what is being spoken about is so beautiful. And the reason why I feel people see it as radical or dangerous or all these negative things is because it doesn't address a person. It doesn't address a person, basically. And that's why it can seem dangerous or and have negative comments around it. Um, yeah, it doesn't go in to support that story of a person. It doesn't talk about the experience of a person, which can be unhealthy because then the person has all these crazy ideas and the person will experience lots of confusion and lots of maybe misplaced experiences. But I think that's due to waking up anyway. This there's gonna be all these different things that happen due to awakening anyway. And to assign that blame to radical non-duality is a bit unfair, I feel. Um, but anyway, I don't wanna like I will talk more about it, I think, but I don't want to talk about it and not point out the beauty of non-duality. So I'm primarily interested in the beauty of it, the the beauty and the profoundness of it. But it indeed should come with a warning. It should come with that um, disclaimer that this isn't for a person. This isn't going to make your life better. This isn't going to help you. This person is you. But it's still a profound and beautiful pointing. And that pointing is that pointing is that this is perfection, that this is perfection. There's nothing wrong here. There's nothing wrong here. So what seems to happen in humans is this identification with thinking, with thought, with feeling. This whole reality of a separate person plays out. And what the profoundness of non-duality is that it's pointing that out. It's pointing out the identification to these thoughts and these feelings, these stories of you. It's pointing out this profound freedom, this profound peace, this profound love, this profound contentment, this profound wholeness that isn't moving in time, isn't changing, it isn't a thing, and it always is. It always is. It cannot be. It cannot not be. That is just so beautiful. So rather than this living through the identity, living through the thinking, living through those stories, those judgments, those ideas, all of those stories, rather than living through that, it isn't the end of those things. That's part of the development of being a human, is to develop this conditioning, this thinking ability, this ability to function in society and to communicate. So it isn't about getting rid of those things, but it's this radical seeing, or this radical opening to that which is not that which is not thought, that which is not movement, that which is not personal, not limited. This profound revealing of what really is, and how all these thoughts and appearances appear as part of this appearance, but they aren't the truth. They're appearing, they're playing on the screen or in the sky as cloud, however you want to, whatever analogy you want to use, that they are the appearances of life playing out. So it's this like removal, this stepping back, this removal from this identification with it, in it, through it. This revealing of this ever-present, empty, fullness. Which is not a thing, unfindable, and yet it's everything. Everything. And so the human plays, the human is the human has its stuff going on, its conditionedness, behavior, personality, habits, stories. But it's this switch over, or this this like misplacement happens. This misplacement, feeling as if you are that character in that story, identified with that character in that story. And that character in that story wants to make its story the best story. It wants to be happy. It wants to find peace or whatever. But the true happiness, the true peace, the true joy isn't in that character story. It really isn't in that. Like, it really isn't in that. It's like, you know, when you see someone happy and joyful, you think, oh wow, I wonder why they're happy, or I wonder what's the story behind that, what's happening for them in their life, making them happy or joyful. But actually that's not true. Like that joy, that happiness isn't personal, it isn't someone's happiness or someone's joy because of circumstances. Like it's this natural peace, this natural happiness, this natural joy, this naturalness, this natural contentment, this natural wholeness. And I don't mean like that the human's always happy. It's not about that emotion of happiness or the emotion of joy. It's like it's not anything, and then the part of its part of its like happiness and joy. It's like it's a peace. Like it's a natural expression of it, the contentment of it, but not the emotion of that. That can be a bit misleading to imagine this is about being happy or being joyful. It's beyond that. That would be such a limitation to have to always be happy and joyful. That would be a rejection of everything else, a rejection of unhappiness, a rejection of any other emotion. And this isn't about a limitation. This isn't about looking a certain way or having a certain experience. This is total, total, total inclusivity, total unconditional for any and every emotion, any and every feeling, any and every behavior, any and every thought and idea. But nothing, none of them, none of those things can ever be true, meaning those things are changing and not hold onable. You can't hold on to any of those things, anything. So the smog of you, going back to the title, the smog of you is this dream that's happening, the smog that's happening of someone, of this person, of this character. This character then wants to not be a smog, wants to unsmog itself. But that would be more smog, smog trying to unsmog smog. This really isn't about you taking this on, you taking on a method or a teaching to become something. And that's why it's so radical. It's not about you, this smog, becoming something, becoming a better smog, a more enlightened smog, a more, you know, like it's not about that. Like the smog, in a way, can become free to be smog. And that's beautiful. The smog becoming more free in its smogness. My foot's really pins and needly. Limited room to stretch out. Ooh. So yeah, it's not about the smog becoming the better smog. It's this shining light, this shiningness of beingness, of emptiness, of the non-smogness. And then the smog is smog, and the smog can become healthier, can become happier as smog. It can be free in a way to be what it is to be smog. But it's no longer living. It's no longer living. It's no longer the one living. It's no longer the truth and real and primary. Mm. Yeah. So yeah, if you have any questions, then you can join Zoom to speak them, or you can write it in chat if you'd like. Hi. Okay. No questions today, but feel so relaxed when I listen to you. Hi. Yeah. It's that remembering remembering of what is. Not remembering as in like mentally remembering. Oh, I remember. Not mentally remembering, but remembering of resonance with what is. So not in time, not in the story of you, but actually this moment, what's actually happening, this presence. Which isn't an abstraction, it isn't in thought, but this directness of what is. Resonance outside of mind, outside of thought. This directness. It feels like love inside my body. Yeah, it does feel like love. I was just trying to see where it felt like that. It does feel like love. Couldn't say where, but it does feel like love. Yeah, it is love. It is love. Yeah. And it's so beautiful that because, but we're conditioned in society to believe that love is found externally, so found in time, found through something, an object. Happiness is found in time through an object. Love is found in time through an object. Peace is found in time through an object. And so, in that way, it is radical that actually that's not true. To begin to like touch upon that that's never been true. And that can be the only way you can continue to, like, maybe it's not true, but like society to keep it functioning, this idea that you have to get to it in time get to happiness, love, whatever it is, peace in time, it kind of like keeps that whole hamster wheel seeking as part of the society, keeps like the world turning in a way, that constant getting the people to seek and to move forward, to seek to go forward all the time, wanting something, needing something. And therefore they will behave, they will do what they need to do to get to this dangle thing in the future. So to begin to resonate with this and begin to realize, oh, it's here, it's available. It's a total lie that time will provide. Like, it's here. It's here. Oh, I am that. This is that. It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. Yeah, it's really beautiful. But I really can, like what I was saying earlier about oh, agreeing with some of the critiques of non-duality. Like, I can, because the person is going to be going through a lot of stuff in this shift. So I do feel like the person does need support, you know, like in the church, for example, or in other organized things, there will be a support network. Whereas in non-duality, there isn't such a strong network like that. And particularly in the radical non-duality, like there isn't that. So, you know, um, yeah, yeah, this is really, really waking up to this dream of life, this dream of time, of words, of language, of meaning. But then at the same time, they're they're totally being that dream of life, that the words, that the meanings, the current structure of it. I think it's the most beautifulest thing. Mm. I feel this love when everything stops and I come to rest. It also feels warm and spacious inside. Wish I could be in this all the time. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. 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 It is, yeah. But the thing is, oh, so beautiful. You are in this all the time. You are in this all the time. Oh, you are in this all the time. This really is all the time. And when you maybe stop and rest, it's more obvious. There's less focus on time, on mind. And so it's more obvious. There's more love and spaciousness and warmth. But it really is there all the time. This narrative of you is always appearing in this, but from its perspective of being separate, it feels like, oh no, I'm I'm something. But what is that appearing in? That narrative of me, what is that appearing in? There's just more focus on that, giving the impression that that perspective, that position is true, that narrative is true. But it really isn't true. Pops up and claims something, and that's like felt to be true, and it's owned and it's seen from that perspective. But that's never true. This is. In a way, you could say you can't be in this all the time, but this is all the time. This is all the time. You as that narrative pops up and disappears and pops up and disappears. That's not who you are. That's not truth. So what now in this moment? What doesn't need to what doesn't need to say that? Like what wouldn't say that I need to be here all the time? What wouldn't be able to say that? Couldn't say that. It couldn't have that desire to be here all the time. It just is. Only a temporary thing could say, I wish I was here all the time. What wouldn't dream of saying that? Couldn't say that. Has no ability to think like that or express like that. Yeah, there is something here that just is, and as you say, it doesn't have any desires. Yeah. Mm. Okay, so maybe that can be the end, maybe, of the stream. So if you'd like to join non-streamed, the non-stream Zoom, then you can find the link on my YouTube channel under the community tab. And that's next Tuesday at 5 o'clock. So yeah, it's been lovely to stream this subject, and yeah, just lots of love, really. Okay.